My name is Mal Fleming. I'm here to assist in your passage. Can you remember your name and the circumstances of your death?
You have taken the marker from the ground in which you lay.
You're referring to the stone?
Yes. You took it without permission.
I apologize. I was trying to...
We have no use for your apologies. We were not attempting to solicit them. We were merely stating a fact. You took the stone from the marked, hallowed, sacred earth.
That is correct. Not to apologize, but to explain. I was trying to assist in your passage and deal with recent...
You're referring to the behavior of the crows, which, under our influence, guidance, love, were attempting to give us honor, veneration, homage.
Yes. Before we get into that, I would love to know your name and the circumstances of your death, if you remember them.
We remember them. We remember them all. Mate Wasserman, death by cholera. Daisy Spence, death by smoke inhalation factory fire. Joseph David, death by exposure. Eberhard Schurman, death by cholera. Gaia Adler, death by blunt force trauma, domestic violence. Charlie Collins, death by liver failure, alcoholism. Isaiah Smalls, decapitation, immolation. It goes on. Would you like us to continue?
I think I understand.
The causes repeat and repeat. The names do not.
How did you come to be what you are? Do you know if
We know. We are the combination of so many different perspectives, experiences, intelligences. We know so much. We were created through time and pressure. All our bodies, bones, corpses together. All our experiences similar, shared, alike, yet unique, divergent, singular. Forming together, joining together, pressed together. Do you know how bezoars are formed, Mal Fleming?
I do not.
A small particulate, food or hair or soil, becomes lodged in the body. Other particulates become attached to the original, and so on, and the matter is squeezed until it becomes a hard thing, a stone, and must be removed. There are a multitude of ways to describe what we are. Many of us visited kinetoscope parlors, leaned our bodies towards the viewing windows, saw the boxing matches, travelogues, melodramas. It was like we lived our lives as those images. Now we have pulled our heads from the viewing station and see fully the entire sweep of experiences. A mosaic of loss, suffering, anger, completed.
Is there perhaps a representative of the mosaic that I could speak to?
No. We are one. One and many at the same time. The odds, ends, ephemera stacked haphazardly on a junk peddler's cart as he walks through Hester Street, thinking of the sister he left in that pale of settlement, wondering if she would ever join him. To take a bit-bobble piece out of the mass would cause the pile to collapse.
Understood.
Or perhaps this is untrue. Perhaps we simply find comfort in the warmth of other bodies, souls, intelligences.
When I removed the stone from the pile of crow bodies, your hold on them seemed to dissipate. I'm curious as to why that was.
The stone is important to us.
All right. We can come back to that. And the crows themselves. You mentioned they were paying you homage.
Yes.
How are they doing that?
They were marking the ground in their way. Hallowing, venerating, consecrating it.
That seems kind of them.
Yes. They are very intelligent creatures. We could feel them. The flapping of their wings, their caws, their songs. We could see out their eyes ever so little, sharing of themselves just as we shared, seeing the ground of the cemetery from the air, feeling the currents under the wing. We would have liked to fly.
That must have been a singular experience.
You sound out of sorts, Mal Fleming.
Sorry, I apologize. I suppose I'm used to talking to one person in these conversations. I can attempt to get a handle on their life, perhaps talk them through anything that might have been unresolved. Even the ghost that was fated, even they were only one person. You present a unique challenge, if you don't mind me saying.
We do not mind you saying. We know the work that you do. We feel the spirits, ghost souls in the gray briar, as if hearing music faintly from a distant room. We are aware that some of them past transition move on. We are aware that you assist in this, at least sometimes. We know the others, even if they do not know us. Perhaps they should join in our congregation, but they are buried with names and ceremony. They are not the correct tiles for this particular mosaic.
If I was able to locate the names and stories of all the...
And how would you do that, Mal Fleming?
I could research.
And your skills would be enough to unearth the buried stories of a mass of 1,000 forgotten lives? Forgotten even while they drew breath. Left to rot, unnamed, unmarked, unmourned, in a forgotten corner of a cemetery. The crows their only vigil in 100 years. That seems extraordinarily difficult to us, Mal Fleming.
It would be a challenge. But if that's what it takes for you to...
Do we sound angry to you, Mal Fleming?
From your tone, I don't think so.
You are incorrect. We are burning, consumed of fire with rage and displeasure. We will not be soothed by your pretty words, Mal Fleming.
I sympathize.
Good. We are glad to receive your sympathy, understanding, pity, though we have no need of it.
It is interesting, though. You don't sound like a choir of voices, or rather it is a choir, but one voice stands out. Would you mind telling me why that is?
A heap of bodies, naked and wet, arms and limbs flailing, in a pile, in a pit. One body has climbed to the top and is sticking its head out. A mouth over the open ocean, greedily drawing in breath, screaming and gnashing teeth, and talking so that Mal Fleming can hear their voice.
Is there any particular reason that this voice rose to the top?
Dumb luck, perhaps. Or perhaps something in their nature spirit self. A bright beam of authority. Or perhaps an extraordinary death whose pain gleams bright and sets their soul apart.
Was their death extraordinary?
It was an interesting thing being a mosaic of souls. Some of us met each other when we were alive. Some of us died in the same tragedy. We have the experience of seeing ourselves from another's eyes, seeing how our body moved in our dress as we sewed, coughing because there was lint everywhere, our hands careful and practiced, our attention wandering. Watched another watch us, and watched the watcher, and on, reflecting like two mirrors facing each other. Watching another die, consumed by flames, their cotton dress catching quick, so quick. And then after death, knowing how that felt, both the immolation and the watching someone, a co-worker, Ida Kessler, who wasn't even liked. Her jokes too cruel and her face too pretty. Pretty in a way we wanted to possess, burn alive, screaming, screaming, screaming.
Is that the voice I'm hearing? The one who watched Ida Kessler die?
Perhaps. One among many, many deaths. All important, none important, all forgotten.
That isn't... I don't say this to minimize anything, but if this is the fire I'm thinking of, it wasn't forgotten. There were changes made in safety regulations after the early 20th century
They
that were...
locked the doors because they didn't want us to use the restroom. There were unions, but not for us, not then. And what use to us are changes in safety regulations after the early 20th century? Leaning out of a window, looking at the cobblestone streets, at the crowd starting to gather, at the wrought iron bars of the fence, wondering if we could clear it if we jumped far enough, knowing we probably couldn't, wishing we could fly, fly, fly. We were correct. We couldn't clear the fence.
I can't imagine.
No, you cannot, Mal Fleming. And that is just a story among many, burned alive and hung at the same time, because we were walking along the wrong street at the wrong time, and we became a focus of hatred for men who feared dying on a field far from home, farther still from where they were born. Dead from drinking the water that everyone on the block drank, fetid and milky, liquid pouring out of every hole in your body, so you died dry, and everyone in the tenement knew the stink of your insides. Dead from sleeping outside, because the almshouse was worse than dying, and even now, perhaps we were correct. So many other stories, a multitude of stories, a cavalcade of stories, an unstoppable flood of stories. What use are your words, Mal Fleming? Trying to stem a tide of stories like that? When still, we are leaning out of a window, hoping we can jump past the wrought iron fence with its points, and knowing we cannot.
When you influenced the crows, was it because you...
One person might have wanted to fly, Mal Fleming. But all of us wanted to escape. All of us ended up in a potter's field. Blood pooling down a drain, coagulating, becoming a bezoar of souls.
I'm sorry.
Is that all you have to say, Mal Fleming?
I would like to assist in your passage, if I can, if you'll let me.
And what would make us believe that whatever is behind that great onyx door will be in any way different from what we experienced in life? What is behind it but further suffering, burning death upon death? Why would we leave the congregation and be thrust naked into the dark? Do you know, Mal Fleming?
I don't know what happens.
Then of what use are you, Mal Fleming? We're not like the spirits you usually talk to. There's not one simple weakness you can exploit to convince us to pass on. There's not a lever you can pull. We are so many, all together, and can resist a great deal.
I understand that. I wonder if there's a part of you that's in pain somehow.
It is no more or less painful than our lives, Mal Fleming.
I am still curious, though, about the stone that I pulled out of the pile of crows.
And do we sound eager to satiate, fulfill, extinguish your curiosity, Mal Fleming?
I imagine that it's interesting to talk to someone new after all this time.
The stone is nothing. A marker left by a child on a field trip, sad and pitying after reading a description in the visitor's guide.
And yet...
A marker.
Markers are important.
It lets us collect Guide Shepherd the crows, a bit of grit to become a pearl, a bit of hair to become a bezoar.
That was kind of the child.
Yes, it was.
There is a marker by the place where you're...
A plaque. green and aged, without even a statue.
I could see if...
You will not buy our separation with trinkets, statues, baubles. You would create a mark out of obligation, not affection, love, care.
The child can't have been the only person to...
No, there were others. An aged son was not sure where his mother was buried. She had died screaming, expelling water from every orifice, too poor to be buried by the family. He came to Greybriar and became certain his mother was buried under his feet. He was right. Even he was not able to pry the soul of his mother from the mass. There were others. Would you like the crows to help you? We do not think they can.
What if you didn't have to separate?
We are unsure what you mean.
I mean, there's an idea that everyone needs to be judged, to have their heart weighed against a feather, or talk to St. Peter, or whatever mythology you want to use, but I don't think that's especially meaningful. Not if you don't want it to be.
It has no meaning for us.
Right. I don't think... Is there any reason that you can't go through the Onyx door as a group? I was trying to think of a way to separate you, to call to your individuality, maybe get some other spirits to come, maybe mark your grave properly, but I think you're one thing now.
We are a congregation, a mass.
Yes, a flock.
Then why must we pass through the Onyx door?
You don't have to. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do.
We find that difficult to believe.
Really? I can't force anyone to pass on. I can trick and I can cajole and I can try to convince, but I can't force you.
So you will try to trick us?
No, I'm trying to convince you because I think you've been nesting. I think you've been staying still too long.
Truly.
And if you congeal too much, will there be anything left? Or just a mass of anger and pain? And that's not who you were. That's not who you are.
Do not try to deny us our fury now, Fleming.
You're right. I'm sorry, but no life is entirely awful. No life is entirely without joy or beauty, or this mass of anger and pain is not all that you are.
Some lives have more joy and beauty in them than others, Mel Fleming.
Yes, and I don't want to minimize that, but there's something in spite of everything, in spite of the neglect. You found something like solidarity, even after death. That's something. And I think that's enough to let you pass on together.
A very optimistic thought, Mel Fleming. Then you think that beyond the Onyx door, there will no longer be pain, despair, void. We are unconvinced that there is comfort in whatever lies beyond death.
I think that whatever's there, you have a better chance to confront it since you're all...
One.
Yes. And I can make sure that the marker is cleaned and...
No. We have no need of your pity. We will make the decision for ourselves. They barred the doors for some of us, to make sure that we did not leave, to keep us from talking, to keep us from realizing that there were more of us than there were of them, and that if we truly wanted, we could rip them limb from limb and receive everything we wanted, and more. I wonder if God, or whatever creature, deity, being is behind the Onyx door, was like that. What do you think, Mel Fleming?
I don't know.
If he is anything like that, we will tear him apart together. As one. as a mass of souls. Goodbye, Mothman.
Pottersfield permanent residence. Passage completed.
You've been listening to Conversations with Ghosts, a Dead Signals production. For complete cast and crew credits, check out our website at conversationswithghosts.com. Dead Signals is an independent operation, and we're supported by our patrons. If you like what you hear and want to support the work we do, go to patreon.com/archive81 to sign up. You'll get a bunch of fun extras, including behind-the-scenes Q&As, music, and access to the first podcast Mark and I ever made together. That's patreon.com/archive81. As always, thanks for listening.